The dense equatorial jungle hummed with life under the relentless sun, vines twisting like serpents around ancient trees that towered hundreds of feet into the canopy, blocking out much of the light and creating a perpetual twilight on the forest floor. 5 years had passed since the world had learned to coexist, or rather, survive alongside, the extinct dinosaurs released in the chaos of Jurassic World dominion. Most of the creatures had struggled in the modern climate, dying off in droves outside the hot, humid equatorial zones where pockets of prehistoric ecosystems still thrived. One such forbidden island, a forgotten relic from Ingen's early experiments, Site C, had been abandoned decades ago after experiments went horribly wrong. It was here, on this isolated landmass shrouded in mystery and guarded by nature's deadliest creations, that a covert team had been dispatched. Leading the mission was Zora Bennett, a hardened covert operations expert with sharp features, piercing green eyes, and a no-nonsense demeanor honed from years in Black Ops. Played in the minds of those who imagined such stories as someone like Scarlett Johansson, Zora moved with predatory grace, her tactical gear blending seamlessly with the shadows. Her team included Duncan Kincaid, a rugged ship captain with a calm authority that masked his inner turmoil, and Dr. Elias Thorne, a brilliant but anxious paleontologist obsessed with redemption for humanity's hubris. Their goal: extract DNA samples from 3 of the largest surviving dinosaurs, a massive sauropod, an aquatic behemoth, and the apex predator itself, a Tyrannosaurus rex whose genetic material held the key to a revolutionary drug that could cure terminal diseases plaguing humankind. The pharmaceutical conglomerate funding the op promised miracles, but Zora knew better. Miracles always came with teeth. As their helicopter descended through a break in the clouds, the island revealed itself, a volcanic paradise turned nightmare, with steaming geothermal vents piercing the landscape and overgrown ruins of old facilities peeking through the foliage like bones of a dead giant. The chopper touched down on a makeshift clearing near the coast, rotors whipping up leaves and dirt in a whirlwind. Zora stepped out first, rifle slung over her shoulder, scanning the perimeter with thermal goggles. "Clear," she barked into her comms. Duncan followed, unloading crates of equipment, while Elias clutched his sample kit like a lifeline, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. "This place, it's like stepping back in time," he muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. The air was thick, oppressive, filled with the calls of exotic birds and distant roars that sent chills down their spines. They set up a temporary base camp near an abandoned outpost, its rusted fences bent and broken from years of dinosaur incursions. Zora briefed the team. "We locate the targets, dart them, extract blood and tissue samples, and exfil before nightfall. No heroics. These aren't zoo animals, these are the ones Ingen deemed too dangerous for the parks." Duncan nodded, checking the boat anchored offshore for a quick getaway. Elias, however, couldn't hide his enthusiasm. "The T-Rex here, rumors say it's larger than any specimen we've seen, possibly a pure strain without the frog DNA fillers." The team ventured inland, hacking through undergrowth with machetes, following GPS coordinates to known watering holes. Hours passed in tense silence, broken only by the snap of twigs or the rustle of small herbivores fleeing their approach. They spotted the first target first, a colossal brachiosaurus-like sauropod grazing on treetops, its long neck swaying like a crane. Elias's hands trembled as he loaded the tranquilizer rifle. "Steady," Zora whispered, positioning herself for cover. The dart hit true, embedding in the thick hide. The beast bellowed, a deep rumble that shook the ground, but the sedative took hold, and it slumped peacefully. They rushed in, drawing samples swiftly, blood from a vein, scales, even saliva. "One down," Duncan reported, sealing the vials in cryo-containers. But as they retreated, a shadow passed overhead, a pteranodon scouting the disturbance. It screeched, alerting something deeper in the jungle. Zora's instincts kicked in. "Move, now." Pushing deeper, they encountered signs of the aquatic target, a massive mosasaurus that had claimed an inland lagoon formed by volcanic activity. The water churned unnaturally as they approached the shore, cliffs rising on either side. Duncan deployed a drone to lure it closer, but the plan went awry when the creature breached explosively, jaws snapping at the air where the drone had been. Elias fired the dart from a safe distance, but the beast dove, thrashing in rage. Waves crashed over the team, soaking them as they scrambled for samples from shed scales floating on the surface. "It's agitated, we need to pull back," Zora shouted over the roar of water. They barely escaped as the mosasaurus lunged, its teeth grazing the cliff edge where Elias had stood moments before. Panting, they regrouped, samples secured. 2 down, but the third, the T-Rex, was the real prize, and the real danger. Night was falling faster than anticipated, the jungle darkening into an inky void pierced by bioluminescent insects. They tracked footprints, massive, three-toed impressions sunk deep into the mud, leading toward the island's central valley where old labs lay in ruins. Elias explained breathlessly as they marched. This Rex, it's from the original batch, engineered to be the ultimate predator. No weaknesses, no mercy. Zora silenced him with a gesture. The ground trembled faintly, a rhythmic thud that grew louder. It's close. They crested a ridge and saw it. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, silhouetted against the setting sun, feasting on a fresh kill, a triceratops carcass torn asunder. The Rex was enormous, over 40 feet long, scars crisscrossing its hide from battle's wan, eyes glowing with primal intelligence. Its roar split the air, a sound that primal fear etched into human DNA recognized instantly. Zora signaled for the team to fan out, positioning the tranq gun on a tripod for a clear shot. Duncan flanked left with flares to distract if needed, Elias right with the extraction kit. Heart pounding, Zora aimed. The dart flew true, striking the Rex's flank. The beast whipped around, bellowing